Alright folks, welcome to another Fiend Artisan video. Okay. I promise it's gonna be the last one that I'm gonna make for at least a week, okay? This one comes to you from Red Faced Menace, who has been having a very different approach to the deck to what I've been doing. There are some things that I really like and some things that I don't like so much. So I'm very excited to try this one out. So the first thing is Eldritch Evolution. So we're actually playing a much more focused list here. This comes with its own subsets of issues though, which I'm going to be wary of, because this means that we're going to have a lot of cards that rely on us sacrificing creatures. And even for stuff like Eldritch Evolution, it's not really like you can sacrifice your grist tokens, right? Like one of the beautiful things about Fiend Artisan is like any pile of garbage, like any noble hierarch or whatever, it's a lot better because you can sacrifice it to Fiend Artisan, whereas here your grist tokens can't quite do that. Or like, you know, you can sacrifice your Grazer, sure, but then you actually can't get Serra Paragon. What you can get though is Helios Sun Crown and Spike Feeder. So we actually have an infinite life combo stapled into the deck, which is pretty nice. And again, like we have redundant ways to find it. So that's actually kind of cool. Besides that, the main interaction remains Fiend Artisan getting Grist and alongside Lords of the Surgeons. I'm personally a huge fan of Renegade Rallier, so not having multiple copies is something that I kind of wish I had. But it kind of makes up for that because you have access to Serra Paragon. This card is an absolute banger, and because I'm my favorite version so far that I've tried has been with Collected Company. I haven't really tried Serra Paragon, but like in the past I have tried this card and I have been quite impressed by it. One thing that this deck has is, first of all, you have Grazers, right? So you actually need to play more lands. So we see that this deck is playing the full 24 lands. I am not high on Grazer at all. Red Faced Menace said it was a non-negotiable, so we're gonna try it out. But I'm not high on Grazer at all in this kind of deck. I think that any Grazer deck that's playing less than 27 lands is just gonna whiff on it a little bit too often. So that kind of sucks a little bit. Also, it has happened that, you know, using birds to attack in the air, thanks to Noble Hierarch to clear Planeswalker, has come up multiple times. So you got like those little synergies. We also have 4 copies of Esper Sentinel and 2 Givers. Personally, I have been really impressed by Giver in this shell, so I would play 4 copies of Giver versus the Esper Sentinels. But yeah, I'm not super high on the Sentinels because they have the same problem as the Bird has, which is it just dies to Renin 6. So I actually really liked Burrington Forge Tender in the main deck when I tried it in the company version. Obviously, I was playing Ranger Captain of Chaos, which also was a great card that I would like to see here as well. But that would make Esper Sentinel a little bit better if we had Ranger Captain, but I mean, we'll see how it plays out. What I do like, though, is that this deck is basically green-white, barely splashing black. I'm barely splashing black specifically for Grist and nothing else. There's no Thoughtseize in the sideboard, which we may pay the price if we get paired against a deck that Grist would be great against, obviously, but this makes our mana a lot more consistent. We can have, you know, 9 fetch lands and a couple of, like, 1 Godless Shrine and 1 Overgrown Tomb, and just, that's it. And we can very likely cast a Grist with ease, or at least ease-ish, but the rest of our spells are going to be very clean. Like, we're going to have a very clean mana base for green and white, so that should be very cool. In the sideboard, we have 1 copy of Stomping Ground to go alongside our Magus of the Moon, so this is our game plan versus decks like Amulet, Tron, and whatnot. Granite Magistrate is a card that I was very surprised by. Like, I was actually bringing this in a lot more matchups than I originally anticipated, so it's pretty nice. Couple of copies of Sanctifier. I would personally go 1 Burrington, 1 Sanctifier, but Sanctifier is much better versus specifically Scam, while Burrington feels like it's better versus other decks like Mono Monkey deck, right? Like, for example, stuff like Murktide or even Burn as well. Then 2 extra copies of Endurance because this card's broken. 3 copies of Force of Vigor. That we're gonna have over here versus the Hammers of the world. 2 copies of Stylish Tracker, which is a card that I was, you know, interested in playing in my first lists, but obviously I was only playing 22 lands, so it wasn't great. Here we're playing 24, so it's gonna be much better. Then an extra copy of Haywire Might. I personally like the Night of Autumn, because like gaining life can happen. Sure, Might gains life as well, but what actually happened multiple times is I sacked the body of the 3-drop in order to like get value from Fiend Artisan. So like it got into play, I destroyed whatever I wanted to destroy, and then also I sacked the body. So I kind of really liked having access to Knight of Autumn. One Revoker, which is, in my opinion, maybe a little bit too fragile. We'll see how it actually plays out, but I'm not super high on Revoker. I think I would play Collector Oof instead. And a single copy of Phantasmal Image, which I imagine is for the creativity matchup, where you can obviously tutor for your own Archon. Assuming that you have a Fiend Artisan in play, and assuming you have something else to sack, and assuming that your opponent doesn't deal with your Fiend Artisan, or like, you have enough cards in hand or whatever. So a lot of ifs, but the plan is obviously sound. Worst case scenario, we can cast it off of Noble Hierarch, so no problem at all. Alright, we're going to be trying these through Modern League, so hopefully things will work out. If you're interested in supporting the channel, you can do so for free by just hitting that like and subscribe button, or by using TCG Player or Mana Traders services with the link that you will find in the description of the video. You can also find a coupon code for 10% off Mana Traders for the first 2 months. And if you would like to support my content directly, you can do so through Patreon. You can do so through donations like this one. I will play any decks of your choosing when you make a donation of $30 or more. Or you can also book coaching sessions as well. So all of those options available to you. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you for round number 1. Okay, that's a turn 2 Grist, right? So we keep this. Good old turn 2 Grist. Ugh. Okay. That's awkward, because if I play Noble Hierarch this turn, I mean, I just have to play Esper Sentinel, right? So we're just going to fetch for a Temple Garden, play Esper Sentinel so I can trade with this monkey, or at least force my opponent to like time work themselves. It's kind of awkward because I really wish that I could double spell on turn 2, but easy block there. Getting rid of the monkey is kind of a big deal in this specific spot. Opponent goes DRC into Bubble. Okay. They keep on top, which is quite scary, but hopefully we can find another green source, I guess, which would make it so Fiend Artisan. Actually, no. Yeah, I guess I'm just gonna play the Hierarch. I would like to play these as a 4/4. And I'm gonna play the Plains because I mean, this Noble Hierarch, there's no way it survives, right? So I'm gonna hide the Grist a little bit here. Dashed Monkey. Okay. So if I block, I get to resolve Grist. So that seems fine to me. I don't think that's a good Dashed Monkey. And I mean, my opponent can't pierce this, so now I'm gonna have Grist in play. And now their Dashed Monkey looks silly. Oh, they're hitting an insect token. Deal. That's a deal. Yes, you got yourself a deal, opponent. They're gonna go for, oh man, stupid DRC, stupid and sexy DRC. All right, iteration instead of Dashed Monkey. Okay, so they know what I have on top, and holy heat. Okay, so I imagine they're just gonna heat the Grist now and call it a day. Yep. I mean, the good thing is now my Fiend Artisan is a 4/4, so that's nice. That's a Rallier, which my opponent knows about. So let's just play this 4/4 and pass the turn. So now my opponent needs to heat this Fiend Artisan specifically. Okay. Esper Sentinel is kind of nice. Opponent fetches in response. Let's see what they do. We're going to counterspell my Esper Sentinel. Okay. I mean, I'm getting raised in the air, so that's kind of the problem, to be honest. We know they have a monkey in hand, so we can't really attack. But technically, if they have nothing left, which they do because they just, they didn't cast iteration. Okay, so I guess we're just dead here, but the Royal Scions? Damn. Okay. Oh, Lightning Bolt just, I guess, finished me off. Huh. Okay. Down to 4 we go. Yeah, I'm just gonna concede here. Okay, so Murktide. Versus Murktide, I like Endurances, of course. I also like Sanctifier. I don't think Magistrate is good enough. Maybe Haywire Might. And I want to cut Noble Hierarchs. And Spirit Sentinel seems fine. I think I'm just gonna cut an Evolution. Evolution seems kind of bad, honestly. Keep everything else. I'm just gonna play Trackers instead of Evolution. Yeah, that feels much, much better. 1,000,000% better. Get to be on the play. Turn 1 Sentinel is kind of nice. Yeah, let's keep it. So we're gonna go turn 1 Sentinel, turn 2 Fiend Artisan. I guess I'm gonna fetch for a Temple Garden. We could play around Blood Moon if we really wanted to, but I think we're gonna be taking too much damage from our lands if that's the case. Here's a Sentinel, and I'm gonna slam the Fiend Artisan on 2. The reason being, well, now even more so. The reason being not only because I have another one, but also because if my opponent wants to kill it, then that means I get to resolve Grist on turn 3. And I think we can attack here. If my opponent wants to dash Monkey, I'm probably not going to trade for the Fiend Artisan anyway, right? I'm going to force my opponent to like use a card on the Fiend Artisan. Magnetic Channeler. 4 more instant and sorcery cards. That sure is something. Well, here's a Grist. We go to town now. So I guess if my opponent doesn't answer the Fiend Artisan, they're gonna be in a lot of trouble. Attack Grist? Okay. I mean, I'm gonna chump block with the insect token. I don't want this Grist to die to a lightning bolt. DRC. So now what we can do is we can plus, and I can tutor for Voice of Resurgence. So X equals... Actually, we can X equals 3. Is that good? X equals 3 gets me Endurance. Endurance seems quite good here. I kind of want to get Voice of Resurgence. Yeah, I think Endurance is such a good defensive card here to have though, so I'm going to take a bunch of damage and I'm going to get Endurance. Where are you, Endurance? Endurance, you. Pass the turn. Do I want to trade? I mean, I kind of do. So this seems like a good attack here. Maybe I should have attacked first, honestly. Well, I'm very happy about that trade if that were to happen. They're gonna bolt my Fiend. Seems acceptable. Now we trade with DRC. And this can become a 4/4 if they have 2 more instant or sorceries. So DRC. I'm gonna block. No blocks, huh? Didn't have you for a coward, opponent. Oh. So here, yeah, I think I'm just gonna lead on. I think I'm gonna lead on. I guess I can lead on Fiend Artisan. Yeah, let's lead on Fiend Artisan. If my opponent wants to counter it, that's fine. And then I get to resolve Sanctifier, which makes both of these creatures tiny. Okay. Exiling my own Fiends is not great, but seems like a small price to pay. Another Fiend Artisan exile, damn it. Yeah. I mean, I have a pro-red creature, right? So I can get in there. Iteration is good, obviously. It always is good. Next turn, we can play Voice. Force the action. They bolt Grist, which is fine. It's actually pretty tough for them to enable Delirium. They can play a Murktide, but they just kill it. You know, like that doesn't do anything. Nice. So play Tracker, play land, get my clue, play a Voice, and now -2 sack token, kill Murktide. Seems pretty decent. Attack for 3. Here we go. My opponent seems to be a little bit on desperation mode over there. And holy heat. I imagine it's going to kill the Grist. Down to 1 card in hand. Jace the Mind Sculptor, which I can just very easily answer. Sounds good. I mean, this Jace is going to have to do some chump blocking. Yeah, that doesn't achieve anything. Like, I have guaranteed killing the Jace here. So here's the Tracker. I think I'm just going to not even grow the Tracker here. I'm just going to continue attacking. Actually, definitely want to clear the Jace, but I think I'm just going to attack them as well. My opponent's going to go down to 6 here. They've been doing a bunch of things that ended up equating to nothing. Okay. They have a Delirium, so that means they're dead on board. That is awesome. Cast Consider, enable Delirium, lose because of it. That was funny. Yeah, this looks fine. Let's do this again. Let's do this again. I can't believe we got the turn 1 Grazer. How can anybody ever not keep this hand? Has there ever been a more snap keep hand in the history of the game? Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait for the Grazer. DRC, okay. Boom. I mean, this is kind of the awkward thing about this version of the deck, right? Which is, like, that sucks that I drew that. It really, really sucks that this is in my deck. It's a little bit rough. I'll block. Yes. I will block so fast, you have no idea. Do you want to hit this Arboreal Grazer? Are you planning to unholy hit this Arboreal Grazer? Because I am all about this. You can bet that I'm all about this. Okay, so I was gonna say I can play around Blood Moon here, but now I don't have to. Do I want to play around Counterspell? Yeah, I think so. Just pass the turn. So I'm gonna run this Endurance into a Counterspell. No, Shredder. Alright, will they respect the Endurance? They do respect the Endurance. Still gonna jam it. Opponent is down to 1 card. Opponent is down to exactly 1 card. So we don't really want to double spell here. And if my opponent enables Delirium, this is actually kind of great for us. Weird that they still have Consider in their deck. What are we doing here? I think I'm gonna resolve Spike Feeder. And the reason to do that is so next turn I can turn this into a 3/3, or actually a 4/4 at instant speed. So that seems worth doing. Because I can put a counter on something and then just like sack this. Okay. So they bubble. Funny enough, if my opponent has, if they have a card that they don't want, they should bin it. Because careful play by my opponent there, right? Like going to the second main phase so their channelers don't attack. So that was some tight play for sure. That was some tight play for sure. Well played. They binned both cards from the Consider, so that wow, funny that Sanctifier doesn't exile anything right here. So play my Fiend Artisan. Great. So now I'm just gonna pass the turn back. Because my goal obviously is gonna be to untap with this Fiend Artisan. Okay, so the dude's attack. That's fine. It's blocked there. Take 6. Oh, okay. Well, I guess we just untap with Fiend Artisan. Sounds good to me. So I can guarantee that this Sanctifier resolves. I can also just gain infinite life if I go with Heliod. I have to sack the Endurance though. So I have to not get just debated. So I think I'm going to play Sanctifier, see what my opponent does. They do Counterspell. They Archmage's Charm, okay. So now I can just gain infinite life. Attack with Endurance. Gonna sack and get Heliod. Gain life. Save targets. Always yield. Here we go. Funny enough, I can make this into a 7/7. So that's hilarious. I'm just gonna gain like 100 life here. My opponent seems like they don't want to concede, so we're just gonna keep playing, but it's gonna be hard for them to win from here. Okay, so we gained a healthy 200 life, and now we pass the turn back. I mean, it's kind of annoying, but sure. The Royal Science has been cast. How can I ever win this game now? Play a top land. I mean, the worst part is like they literally can't win, right? They're gonna be chump blocking here. Like, this is just such a waste. Okay, so what are we doing here? We can play Giver, sack Giver, go get Serra Paragon. Is that good? I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna attack Royal Science with Fiend Artisan. And then we're just going to move a counter from here and put it there. And then give lifelink to this. And now we put the counter. So now we killed the Shredder and we put the counter back on the Spike Feeder. And I think we're just gonna, like, we don't even care about protecting the combo anymore. I'm just gonna play another Fiend Artisan and just kill my opponent. I mean, this is the problem. Like, if you're not gonna concede to the infinite life, it's just like, at least have a plan for winning. But like, they just don't have a plan. They literally can't win. Like, I'm just winning with value on the board. So it's just kind of a waste of time for everybody, for all the parties involved. Yeah, exactly. It's just there's no point to this. Anyway, see you next round. Okay, so this hand is not very good. There are certain Jegantha decks that this hand would be a banger against, and probably many Jegantha decks that this hand is going to be terrible against. I'm also on the draw. I mean, it's a pretty strong curve. I guess I'll keep it. Let's see what this deck has to give. Hoping that it's not a monkey Jegantha deck. This hand is not particularly great versus the monkey style of Jegantha decks. Wooded Foothills into... Don't say monkey, don't say monkey, don't say... Okay, Soulscar Mage. That's actually less bad than monkey, I'll take that for sure. So let's play Windswept Heath, and I think we're gonna get... This is definitely a matchup where I much rather have Borrenton Forge Tender than the other guy that we're playing. What's the name of the card? The Sanctifier. Because Ball to the Face is pretty relevant card. The question here is whether we get Godless Shrine or whether we get Overgrown Tomb. I guess we could technically just get basic Forest here. No, actually let's get Godless Shrine here, but I'm gonna fetch and I'm gonna get basic Forest to cast this voice. Because I want to play around Blood Moon, right? Like my opponent went Scalding Tarn Go. So it's making me think about the Blood Moon style decks. So now I can Grist next turn, or I can Endurance. It's also kind of nice because it time walks my opponent because they can't really play a spell into the voice. So. Also, they didn't cast Light Up the Stage, so I'm going to assume that they don't have Light Up the Stage in hand. Otherwise, it seemed like an easy card to play on that turn too. Expressive Iteration. Am I just going Grist into... Or can I just play... I guess I can just do Endurance instead. DRC. Okay, so... Wraith or Verge. Thicket. Yeah, I think I'm just going to pass the turn and I'm just going to... I'm going to wait until the DRC attacks. And then I'm just going to Endurance. Swift Spear. They shock. 2 mana. Metamorphose. And Metamorphose is pretty good. If they wait... Yeah, okay, I think what we do here is we just block the DRC. It's not extreme. I mean, it's possible for us to die here. But it's also possible for us to not die. So I think this is the better block. Because my opponent's going to need to like throw all of... Oh, Lava Dart is brutal. How they milled Lava Dart. That's devastating for us. That is so good for them. So now the likelihood of us taking lethal goes up considerably, I think. So they dart the voice with a dart from hand. Oh, wow. They're going to let that take the damage? Well, that's so good for us. Wow. All right. Well, that's insane. So now kill your DRC, get rid of both of your Lava Darts. Well, that was an insane swing. That was a ridiculous swing right there. Now they are down to only 2 cards. We have Grist. And I'm just going to plus this Grist. Setting up for playing Serra Paragon next turn. We're just chilling. Serra Paragon getting back fetch land actually nets me life, which is awesome. Sprite Dragon. You can block that one. And I think it's gonna be... That one's gonna be dead real soon. They put Jegantha to hand. Yeah, that was a massive mistake from my opponent. Hayward Might. So what I can do is I can go... Play land, play Might, -2 Grist, sack Might to gain life, kill Sprite Dragon. And now I can go Fiend Artisan, and then next turn I can go Paragon into get back my thingy. So I could have played Serra Paragon there, but then my opponent gets a crack at trying to kill it. What I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to bait my opponent to killing the Grist, and then I can get it back with the Serra Paragon. That's a Jegantha. But now we get to untap with Fiend Artisan, which seems pretty strong. Another Grist. Love to see it, you love to see it. So, man, the world really is our oyster here. So, we can plus Grist, we can activate Fiend Artisan, get back Might from the Serra Paragon. We can also, yeah, I think I like that. So play land, fetch, swamp. We're going to minus, do you want a plus? Because I kind of don't care about Jegantha. They could have the thing that gives trample to everything, and that would mess me up. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna do that. So this is x equals 5, Fiend Artisan, x equals 4, sack insect token, get Sarah Paragon, get back Highware Might, -2, sack Might, kill your Jegantha, gain 4. And this seems to be locked up, I would say. I'm not gonna attack because the longer the game goes, like I could probably, it's probably safe to attack with the elemental, but I feel like at this point we're past the point of no return. I don't think my opponent can win anymore. Even if they chain 4 iterations in a row, I just don't think it's gonna be enough to overcome what I'm doing. Because like they need to kill the Paragon, they need to kill the elemental token. I can just throw stuff into the garbage and it's gonna be fine because I can just recast it. So I can just easily block here, see what they do. Like they probably have like lava darts or bolts for my creatures. It just doesn't matter. Like they can throw away their entire hand, and that just feeds my my Fiend Artisan and stuff, you know. Okay, sure. I mean that was one spell that killed both of my things. They're gonna get back Sprite Dragon here. All right, sounds good. Sounds good. Good breach for sure. Wait, how does this work if I have 2 of these? Because this is not legendary. So I can go Grist. I can go Noble Hierarch, sack Hierarch to the Fiend Artisan for x equals 3. Renegade Rallier back boys. Renegade Rallier. I don't think I even like. I'm so far ahead on value that I'm not sure that I even want to. Yeah, I don't even want to show them that I have an infinite combo going on here. That was nice. So Sanctifier is obviously fantastic. Endurance obviously fantastic, particularly when they showed me Breach. And I guess I'm gonna throw a Haywire Might in there. Cut Hierarchs. Probably don't care about Force. Ooh, Draniv Magistrate actually stops Breach and Lava Dart, which is nice. I'm kind of interested instead on my combos. So I think that Eldritch Evolution is probably fine. I'm not super high on the Sentinels because they have Lava Dart. So it's probably going to be fairly easy for them to get rid of them. Maybe I get to draw a card off of the Sentinel, but also maybe I don't, so. Yep. Yeah, we keep that one. Look at this Gracie boy. Just look at this Gracie boy getting all that value. Perfect mana. So we kind of just want to dodge Blood Moon. As long as we draw some basics, we're kind of good to go. Okay. Gracie boy. Play Godless Shrine. To be fair, Gracer much better than Birds here, right? But like second Gracer is just a blank. So you win some, you lose some, I guess. Actually, I'm going to take this damage, I think. And the reason to take the damage is because I don't want to get... I want for my opponent to actually use a spell on this Gracer, so I don't get cheesed out by a Sprite Dragon later in the game. Like, that can potentially be a way that I lose this game, right? Okay. So, play that. So now we have infinite blockers. And play that tapped. We can play Grist next turn. I guess we can just Evolution. We can Evolution into a 3-drop. I'm not sure how good that's gonna be. So they exiled Soul Scar. Okay, so they're not casting... Oh, they are casting Soul Scar, my bad. A block. So what can I Evo into? I guess... So I guess I just Evo into another Sanctifier. We can also Evo into Endurance. We can Evo into Heliod. I'm just getting another Sanctifier. So that just locks up the ground. So now the only card that really matters anymore is Sprite Dragon, which of course is exactly what my opponent has. Mutagenic Growth. Lava Dart was exiled. Damn. Okay. That's a bunch of stuff. Just your casual 7 points of damage. Not bad, not bad. Yeah, that's nice. Pass the turn back. And I'm just going to get rid of my opponent's graveyard here. Cast Endurance. And I wanted to do this in case they had a Breach in hand. Sure. So they bolt here. Get some triggers. So they're going to need 2 removal spells. Because this is not going to the graveyard. So I really doubt that they're going to be able to enable Delirium. So they're going to need to use 2 removal spells on this. Sure. So now the Endurance is gone. And I guess this forces me to block on both of these dudes. So we're going to take 5, 6, Bolt for lethal. Okay. Yeah, must be nice. No, as I said, it was like Sprite Dragon is the only card that mattered, right? And everything else I could just beat. So game number 3. And I don't think I want to change anything. So we're just gonna go like this. We're on the play. Also, I just realized my opponent's username is Rip Harambe. Which is very funny. I guess we keep this. Definitely need to draw some lands, but if we do, we're gonna be doing some stuff and something. And at this point, like, Gracer is a dead draw, right? While Birds of Paradise would actually help me a fair amount. So this is again like why I'm not particularly sold on the concept of playing the bird. So they do have Lava Dart, but c'est la vie. Oh, they trade? Oh, Mutagenic Growth. But this is good for me, though. So now I get to gain some life, and I also now might do this at 2/2 instead of a 1/1. Also, they used a spell to do that. So we still traded 1 for 1. But now Lava Dart does not kill the Fiend Artisan anymore. So... okay, so best draw here... ooh, no second land. It's big. Yep. I had 2 looks at a land. And didn't quite get there. But that explains why my opponent took the block, right? It's because they were actually digging for a land themselves. And they, like the Mutagenic Growth allowed them to do that. They have Metamorphose, yeah. So this probably means that we're going to lose here. That missed land drop is the end of the game. If we had been able to find that land, we could have, you know, played... if it's a fetch land, we play the Rallier, get another fetch land, then we play Serra Paragon next turn. Like, at this point now we have nothing going on. Our opponent is super far ahead. And we can never catch up to all of that. Unfortunate. I mean, it was a risky keep, but I think it was worth doing. Land? Sure. Yeah, this is just not a game anymore. I'm just gonna concede here. We just can't catch back up. See you next round. Okay, this run number 3. This hand is slow, but the pieces are in place. I think I'm gonna keep it. It's a little bit sketchy, but I don't know. I'm kind of feeling it. I'm on the play too. There are... I guess I'm okay with lands. I don't want any more. This is going to be another Murktide gamer. Stomping Ground. Crashing Footfall. Okay. I think I'm going to get... let's get Overgrown Tomb here. And then the question is going to be whether we want to play around Blood Moon or not. So I think I'm going to. We can play these tapped. And then next turn we can play this and fetch for a white source, and that's gonna allow us to play around Blood Moon a little bit. And okay, I think I'm just gonna jam Grist here. Kind of just want to get that going. So black, green, 1. It's not like my opponent can force the Grist. Being the land, which is fine. Oddly enough, if my opponent does slam a Blood Moon next turn, we are not in the best of to deal with it, though. Okay, so a couple of different ways we can do this. I think I'm gonna lead on Esper Sentinel, because if my opponent, if they have a Violent Outburst, they kind of have to use it now. Otherwise, they just give me a land for no reason. They just give me a creature for no reason. Yeah. So this forces the issue, and now we can use Grist to get rid of one of these Rhinos at least. So there it goes. Now I can just... I guess I want to play the fetch land, but I'm gonna obviously sack here, Insect Token, get rid of one of these. And again, this is mostly because I can just play around Blood Moon a little bit. It just costs me nothing to do. It's not like I have Magnetic Tireless Trackers and stuff, right? So this covers the Grist, that's fine. I could have attempted to double block, but there's just too many ways that goes poorly for me. So, I think, I mean, we're definitely gonna play the endurance here, but I'm gonna target nothing with it. I'm not gonna target them because that shuffles the footfalls back in their deck. What's this? Are they just gonna like subtlety these or whatever? Another outburst. Okay. Paying the mana so I don't draw a card. That's a lot of Rhinos. That is a lot of Rhinos. Let me see if they actually have Blood Moon. Looks like they have Force of Negation, Brazen Borrower, but no Blood Moon. At least not that they showed there. So yeah, we're gonna target nothing with Endurance. Untap and see what's up. We're probably just gonna play Paragon here. So we can go play Paragon. We can play Fetch Land, and we can gain a life here, which is pretty funny. And then we can go Gracer and play the Forest. This allows me to play multiple things next turn. Pass the turn back. So that is a lot of power my opponent has in play, and they have 2 more power coming up as well. So that's not gonna be easy. But let's see if we can slug through all of this. I think I'm gonna have to take 12 here, down to 6. Alternatively, I can double block one of these. Just do this. I think I probably have to. They can like bounce. Like, there's a million ways this goes poorly for me, right? Fire Eyes, they bounce my Endurance. Like there's just a million ways. But I'm just so far behind. Like this is just so much power that they put into play that I have to hope that this works. Oh, Become Immense. Okay, down at 5 we go. I always forget that this is a card that the Rhinos deck is playing now. It's just so bizarre. Okay, I've seen enough. Okay, Rhinos. Drannith Magistrate, of course. Well, we're not well prepared for Rhinos. we're very much not well prepared for this matchup. You learn it here first. So we obviously, I mean, this card is obviously fantastic, but yikes. Yeah, we don't really have too much going on, huh? So that's brutal. Okay, so I guess I just kind of just have to assemble Heliod Spike Feeder. That seems awful. Yeah, this matchup seems absolutely miserable. Our deck is not well prepared for this. Yeah, I'm gonna keep this. Most definitely gonna keep this. If they shock my Noble Hierarch on turn 1, that's gonna be terrible, but it kind of is what it is. So let's play Noble. Then I'm gonna go turn 2, probably Artisan into second Noble. Please don't shock my dude. Suspend Footfalls. Nope, they tap for red. Okay, so probably gonna be too bad. Yep. Alright. Now they also have Fire and Ice. Oh, come on, dude. Now they have 2 of them. Land! Nope. Well, that's a way to lose this matchup with this hand. That is most definitely a way to lose this matchup with this hand. Okay, no land is huge. That is absolutely massive. Okay, so they definitely don't have Fire and Ice. So I'm just gonna play this Drannith Magistrate right now. They could have Brazen Borrower, but Fury would be bad, of course. Season Pyro. That's fine. That we don't care about. Discarding Outburst, Blood Moon. Okay. So this swings for 3, which is kind of nice. Let's get Fiend Artisan. And this is why I don't like Evolution, right? There is a chance that my opponent has a Force in hand that has not been able to do anything just yet. This is going to be a 2, this is going to be a 3-5, so this is a fine attack. But there's a chance my opponent has a Force going on there. Oh no. Wait, what? What was that block? What the hell was that block? What? Well, that was confusing. Okay, so can I protect this somehow? How do I not lose to bounce your Magistrate into Rhinos? I just get Grist. Yeah, I mean, I just can't go super wrong getting Grist here, right? So let's just get Grist here. I could also get Voice. So like, yeah, let's just get Voice actually. That's funny, yeah. So now, yeah, they can't cast anything that I care about. So let's just swing here because we can. Even if they have endurance or something. I mean, I guess they could have become immense. Otawara. Okay. I guess that's a way to play around that. This still seems fine to me, though. Like, sure, they get a couple of Rhinos, but I can beat that. Let's see how they cyber. They do have Blood Moon. They do have Fury, of course. They have another Dead Gun still in the deck. And the Become Immense is also still there. So, let's play Magistrate. And I'm just gonna, I guess I'm gonna sack Voice, get another Voice. We're just gonna start this value engine. Yep. And we could, I mean, my elemental token is bigger than my opponent's Rhinos, so that's fine. It's good for me. Let's see. If they Fire and Ice my Hierarchs, wow, elemental token too strong. That was funny. Game 3, they have Fury. Again, like once again, like this one of these should be Warrington Forge Tender. 2 Sanctifier and Beck just sucks. Like I'd much rather have one. In fact, I'd much rather have 2 Warrington Forge Tender. Then I'd rather have 1 and 1, I think, and then like 2 and 2 is just bad. And Phantasmal Image, this card just sucks. I don't think this should be in the deck at all. The same is true with Revoker, honestly. Like I don't really think I can find like a good reason to play Revoker, because any of the decks that you would play Revoker against are just they're just very filled with removal. They have like infinite removal, so they're just gonna answer your Revoker. Like the fact that Revoker doesn't actually remove the threat that it's trying to stop is just makes it kind of bad, just kind of irrelevant. Okay. So let's keep this. It looks like my opponent has cut their forces. So now we can go... Oh, interesting. Yeah, I think I'm just going to play Boseiju, even though my opponent's got access to Blood Moon and stuff. I probably have to Evolution this turn. Into... What's his name? And just hope that it works. Just Magistrate. If they have Borrower, that's going to be bad for me. If they have Fury, that's also going to be bad for me. Multiple things are bad for me. But this is the price of being on the draw versus Rhinos, right? Yep. This is why Rhinos is Rhinos. This is what the deck does. It just interacts and then just kills you. And again, Gracer just being bad here. So playing around Blood Moon ended up costing me a lot here, because like my mana is kind of non-functional. Okay, is there anything I can draw even at this point? I don't think... I can't set up the infinite combo. Yeah, okay, that's too many Rhinos. Yeah, we just don't have any catch-up mechanisms, right? Like when I was playing this deck, I had like 2... What's the name of the sweeper? What's the name of the card? Well, like the black-green X destroy all enchantments, artifacts, and creatures, right? So that can help me catch up in a situation like this. Here, it's just like this deck just doesn't have any way to do that. So I actually really like that card in the sideboard in my list. All right, okay, this hand looks decent. So we can go turn 1 Hierarch, turn 2 probably Voice. So let's play our Hierarch. And I think I'm just going to... I guess my opponent could just kill my Hierarch, right? But if they don't... Wooded Foothills. So if they don't kill my Hierarch, I think I would just not take the damage. Okay, so they do kill the Hierarch. That's fine. So... Okay, so now that I drew the land, I guess I'm just gonna fetch for a basic forest. But I was going to like just shock there. Next turn we can like rally or probably get back another land. Hopefully my opponent kills the Voice here. That would be incredible for me. So we're not playing versus Murktide. We're not playing versus Rhinos either. Temur of some sort. Ren, okay. So we can get back Hierarch, which would... If we get back Hierarch, we can actually pressure... So I guess this is creativity, I would say. Let's get, I guess, Godless Shrine. Green, white, this. I'm just gonna get back Hierarch, even though he gets killed by Ren, but if my opponent wants to kill the Hierarch, they're gonna have to kill their own Ren, so it seems better. Okay, attack Ren, pass the turn back. I mean, opponent is at 14. Do they have another Ren? I mean, I guess if they do have another Ren, like, it's fine, because we just killed it. They do nothing, huh? Okay. Well, here's an attack for 5. Do you wanna give me an elemental token? I'll take an elemental token. If they actually do give me an elemental token here, I'm going to, yep, Prismatic Command. So this is gonna be, I guess, only 1, but it is creativity. They're gonna probably make a, it looks like it is creativity. So I guess I am gonna shock here, and I'm just going to go Heliod into Might, just so this becomes a 4/4. Also, this bug is really funny when like the effect goes to the graveyard as opposed to the card. The other day it happened with Colligan's Command as well, and I thought it was very funny. So now this is gonna be a 3/3. We're pretty far away from actually turning this into a creature, which is sad, but sure. Fable. So let's play Sentinel. And I think I'm just gonna attack with Voice. See if my opponent does something. I'm just gonna give lifelink to the Voice, and I'm gonna suit up the Esper Sentinel. So now it's gonna be a 2/2. And I'm just gonna crack the Might. I don't want my opponent getting value from Fable. Oh, didn't even think about this. That's great. Okay. Yeah, totally did not think about the fact that I was gonna gain life with this. Like that's a cool interaction. Yeah, didn't even think about it. Okay. So we're just gonna pay the full 3 for Sentinel, which is in. So I guess if we find, we need to find either Evolution or Spike Feeder. All right, let's play that one. And we're gonna swing and lifelink. So lifelink, the Voice, and I think I'm gonna put the counter on the Fiend Artisan. It's bad versus Leyline Binding, so maybe I should be suiting up the Voice, but if they have Archon, I'm just gonna be sacrificing the Voice. Bitter Union. So that's potentially bad for us. Expressive Iteration. Okay. So it looks like my opponent's not playing Leyline Binding, which is good for me, because they probably don't have that many answers to the Fiend Artisan then. Alright, let's see what's up. Noble Hierarch. Okay. So we're gonna play Hierarch. I'm just gonna attack with Voice. Attack with Voice. And then I'm gonna sack Hierarch. I'm gonna sack Hierarch to just get Spike Feeder. Equals 3. Sack Hierarch. I could get Grist. Kill that. So now we just threaten the combo. Yeah, I think so. I think we just let this go. I want to have my opponent be the first one to do something. I want them to be the first one to act. So they're not just gonna be able to just play a creativity. They fetch, they get another Dwarven Mine. And I mean, it's just a matter of, maybe they have an answer to the combo. X equals 3. Alright, can I gain a life? Do they have the bolt? So save targets here. So this is kind of annoying because like they are gonna deck, right? So even though I'm gonna have no board, they are gonna deck here. But yeah, I mean, if we were playing in paper, I could just say I gain just like 7 million life or something like that, which is an amount of damage that the Archons are not gonna be able to do. I'm gonna ask my opponent I'm gonna ask them if they're willing to concede to the infinite life, and then, because like I'm gonna lose to the Archons, right, due to the limitations of Magic Online. So I'm not gonna gain. I cannot gain. Archons deal way too much damage, so I'm not gonna be able to gain enough life in order to have them deck, basically. So yeah, I'm not gonna be able to gain enough life that they're gonna deck before I do. But like if we were playing in paper, this would be a win for us. But yeah, unfortunately we're not. We're playing in MTGO, so that's why I asked my opponent if they're willing to concede. But it looks like they aren't. So I guess it's right for me to just pack it in, right? Like I can't, I just can't do this enough times. So yeah, that sucks. I mean, we have like 20 minutes on the clock, so I'm gonna try, but I doubt that this is gonna be fruitful. Okay, so my opponent didn't answer back, so I just got tired, but I still get to get a little bit of info on the way out. So I know that they're playing Teferi, I know that they're playing Persist as well. So those are things that I can kind of take into account as I am doing this thing. So, but yeah, now my opponent can just haste their Archons and kill my dude. Oh, they just have 6th. I mean, I don't have a way to end the game, right? So this just doesn't do anything. But yeah, again, in paper we would just deck. Okay, so you get some triggers in there. Okay, so I ended up dying with my opponent having 3 cards left in their deck. So I guess if I had gained maybe like 100 or like 150 more life, I would have been able to get him. But it is what it is. So I think Magus is medium, potentially okay. But obviously Phantasmal Image we want. Even though I think it's just bad. But I mean, this is the matchup for it, right? I'm into Hayward Might, maybe not so much into stuff like Endurance. Like Endurance could be fine. I'm not super sold on it. Definitely want to cut the Hierarchs though. So maybe we can just keep the Canopy in, just because we're going to be cutting Hierarchs. 25 lands is nice. Style Striker matter. Yeah, maybe I'll just play the second Endurance over the Canopy. Yeah, I think everything else I do like. Okay, I'm gonna say yes, and this hand looks pretty good. So we can now go Verdant Catacombs Gracer into turn 2 Grist, aka the Dream, aka the freaking Dream. That's what that is. And I think I'm gonna fetch for a Swamp and just So basic Swamp. I definitely want to make sure that I hold on to this, because I may, if I do draw a Magus, I'm gonna need. So my opponent has Lightning Bolt in their deck, which is kind of rough for these Fiend Artisan over here. Opponent fetches and shocks. Ren plus. So now the question. Oh, that's nice. Okay, so let's just go get, I guess, a basic Plains here, and we're just gonna go play this, -2 to sack Voice, kill Ren, and we're gonna play Fiend Artisan, swing for 1. So now my opponent can bolt the Fiend Artisan, but I can just go Paragon into untap. Also, if they bolt the Artisan, they don't bolt the Grist. 3 mana for Fable. I can destroy the Fable if I wanted to. Let's lead on Grist. Okay, so we can swing for 5 to get things started. And I think, I mean, I can just go get another Grist, right? And I'm gonna sack the Gracer to continue growing my Grist dude. I get Gracer. I guess I could get Phantasmal Image. Could also get another Fiend Artisan. This is a 4/4 already, so we're kind of covered there. Could also get Hayward Might and blow up the Fable. I think I'd rather kill the Goblin Shaman. Kill the Shaman, and I want to play the tapped land. I think I don't want to play the tapped land because I can discard this to the Archon. Right, there it goes. All right, perfect mana for my opponent. So if they actually go for our creativity here, we're gonna win. So I guess the whole thing actually worked. Persist, Archon, sack. I guess I can just sack Grist actually. Now sack the insect. Discard the land. And I guess if they have a bolt for the Grist, we're gonna be in trouble. But if they don't, we're gonna be fine. I guess they still have the Dwarf token, which makes things really, really awkward. Maybe this is the wrong play, and I should just got another Grist to kill the Archon. I don't know. It's close. I don't know. Maybe I misplayed this game. I mean, the good thing is I can sack the Grist to the Archon trigger, but my opponent can have either another Archon by taking the Kiki, or they can have, I don't know, they can have like a bolt for this. Multiple things they could have. Let's see if they have creativity. Shock. Prismari Command? Yeah, I'm really not feeling the. I'm really not the Phantasmal Image game plan is just not good. It's just too easy for my opponent to play around it, right? It's just way too easy for them to like work around it, and there's, I mean, it's just kind of rough for us. Do we even have any outs here? I mean, my opponent's forced to chomp, so we got that going on at least, but okay. So I guess we just attack here, and we play Paragon into get back a Grazer. It's a lethal attack, so Reflection has to chomp. And it's kind of frustrating that they didn't concede game one. I mean, I guess it's understandable, but it is frustrating nonetheless. Phantasmal Image is not getting the job done. So Archon gets in there. We do get to gain 3 life, which is something, I guess. And Paragon is still in play. But now they can have like fetch land into creativity, and they make us sack both things. And now we don't have a lethal attack anymore, which is rough. Because like the Fiend Artisan is not lethal anymore. I can draw Grist, I guess. If I had drawn exactly Grist, I could have been fine. Because I could then play Grist -2. No, that still doesn't do it. Because I kill the Paragon, but this is still... Oh, yeah, it would have been lethal, I guess. They can still have Fire and Ice, though, which is very likely what they have going on. Yeah, I guess specifically Grist is the only chance that I have at winning this game, so... Try to look for it. Fail. Can bring my opponent down 1. Draw 2. Create a treasure. Okay. So I guess they are looking for Fire and Ice. And it's not gonna matter, though, because they just go down to 1. Yeah. This is sad. Alright. Pack it in. Okay, so we have a turn to Grist. We have never mulliganed a turn to Grist on the play. I'm not about to start. So just fetch for basic forest here, play Hierarch, and then turn to Shock this Godless Shrine and Grist. Spiral of Canal. Grazer. Grazer right on time. Plus the Grist and say go. Opponent on my end step hits the Hierarch. So I guess we're playing against Murktide once again. They hit the Hierarch on my end step, so I guess they have Spell Pierce in hand. Because that's the only reason why they would have done that instead of doing it main phase. Because they wanted to like Spell Pierce something that I played, but dealing with a Grist instead. So they play Monkey, and it's pretty nice. Okay, so we're just gonna... This Grist is always gonna be plussing here, I think. Rallier is gone. I think I'm just gonna play this Grazer. The question is, do I play the Fiend Artisan or not? I kind of have to figure that out right now. I think I'm gonna play that tapped in case I want to hold on to this Windswept Heath. Yeah, I think I'm gonna play out the Fiend Artisan here. Get a basic forest Artisan. It's a 3/3, which is rough, but so they can bolt it. It can't be heated though. Oh, Spell Snare. Okay, sure. I keep forgetting that Spell Snare is a card that apparently it's all the rage right now. I guess it's good in the Murktide mirrors. I guess it gets Counterspell, it gets Shredder. Yeah, it's probably fine. It's probably a fine card. They just can't beat the Grist? Really? And Holy Heat. Like, I was drawing garbage. I was drawing unplayable cards. Anyway, okay, Murktide. We want Sanctifier. We want Trackers. We want Endurances. We don't want Evolutions. I guess Sewer might okay. It's probably better than Hierarchs because it can trade with Monkey as opposed to Hierarch, which cannot. And we submit this. Okay, what do we got here? Turn 1, Esper Sentinel. Turn 2, Voice. Yeah, this looks pretty good. Don't monkey me, bro. Every time, dude. Monkey every single time. Okay, so we play Esper Sentinel. At least it means that we can't, you know, just get Blood Moon or something like that. So that's something. I'm just gonna bolt plus pay. Which at least means that we get to resolve Voice. Here comes Monkey. Swing for 2, we get a Treasure. Exiled Verdant Catacomb. Windswept. Guess we're gonna need that to... And again, I'm not playing around Blood Moon here. I could if I really wanted to, but I think it's better if I don't. The question now is, do I want to trade with this monkey with the voice? Because the voice is protecting my grist, allowing it to resolve. It's probably more important to resolve the grist than to not take a monkey hit. So I think I'll get hit by the monkey. Royal Grazer. They actually cast it. I guess they really wanted to trigger Shredder? I don't know, man. Like, this doesn't seem worth casting. This really doesn't seem worth casting. Sure, they're playing a land, but I don't know. Maybe I'm the crazy one. DRC. Okay. Sanctifier. Huh. Sanctifier is really interesting. Sanctifier is super interesting. Is that better to resolve than Grist? It can't be, right? Also, it gets spell snared, so I guess I'd rather play Grist. It uses my mana more efficiently. It does something similar in terms of blanking the monkey, and it also makes my tokens better, my voice tokens better. The only bad thing here is if they actually do get Delirium, because that means that they just get to clear the Grist. Bolt. But they need to get Delirium. If they don't get Delirium, they can't actually clear the Grist. Unless they double spell. Okay. Well, I never mind. They can just attack it with Shredder. My bad. Okay, I'm just gonna play a Murktide. Huh, interesting. Why they do it like that? Brotherhood Zen. Okay, you got it. Just literally swipe their entire board. Okay, so they bubble and pass the turn. Sarah Paragon. Okay. This means I can play Grist next turn. Also blocks their flyers. Opponent 100% did not see this one come. 100% they did not see this one come. Consider. Okay. We can, if they try to hit my Paragon, I can always just Endurance. So I guess we're gonna have a Shredder Chump attack. We'll take 5. Take 2 from the Shredder. We block the DRC, take 7. Untap. Spike Feeder is interesting. So here's a Grist. -2. And I think we sack Voice. Is it between Voice or Insect Token? I'll sack Insect Token. This kills Murktide. And we pass the turn. So if they kill Grist, I get to gain 2, which is nice. Also, DRC is Chump attacking again, which is good for me. We have Endurance to play around. Heat. And if they do find a Heat, they're probably just going to go for it, right? Because they just have lethal attacks. But if they have Bolt, we just... Not much we can do about that. So block here, show me what you got. They have a Lightning Bolt. So game number 3. And I think this is a fine setup. I think I like this. Oh, this is a hand. Oh my god, this would be so good. This would be so good if I had a white source. Let's ship it. Okay, this one's better. I can keep this one. Keep, and I think we're gonna bottom the tracker. We don't have any lands anyway, so turn 1, we're just gonna get a Godless Shrine, and we're gonna play Giver. Turn 2, we get to play Voice. Okay, so they immediately hit the Giver, which makes sense. Here's a Voice. I really need to find some land drops over here. If I find some land drops, I'm gonna be happy with my spot, but not a land drop. That is most certainly not a land drop. So this Fiend Artisan is 2/2. Next Fiend Artisan is going to be a 3/2. 3/3, sorry. So it's going to survive Heat at least. That's a DRC. Let's see if they have their removal spell. Opponent stacking the triggers properly. Ooh, Beaning Iteration. So I guess really looking for that. Delirium, huh? Damn, Bobble 2. And they keep on top. That's probably bad. So now they know what I'm drawing. And they attack. Take 2. Consider. Okay. So I guess we're going to tap with Fiend Artisan. Is that going to do anything for us? If we don't find a land, it's probably not going to do too much for the good guys. Land. So what we're going to do is we're just going to attack here. See if my opponent blocks. They don't, which makes sense. And now we can sack this to go get another one. We get a free We get a free growth of the Fiend Artisan and a free... we can get... What if we get Sanctifier instead of Voice? Is that better? I think I'm gonna go Endurance. I'm gonna Endurance pitching Fiend Artisan here, by the way. Yeah, I'm just gonna get another Voice. And I think I don't want to just get Got. So I'm gonna... My opponent's gonna get to like do their thing here, but... Oh, they don't, because I didn't cast a spell. Nice. That's nice. Also, now Fiend Artisan is a 4/4, meaning it survives Vault, which is nice. So we have a 3/3 Elemental, we have a Voice, and if we end up with Artisan, we're just going to do the same thing again. So each time around, we get a bigger Fiend Artisan, and we get a bigger Elemental token, and one more Elemental token. So it's kind of nice. Opponent casts another iteration. There's not much we can do here. Beanie Monkey. They've been bubbled too. If we find the land, I may actually tutor for Endurance. Or I guess I can just cast it. So they just have Delirium once again. In fact, they're going to be able to cast a Murktide if they want to. They're going to bubble me, so now they know what I'm drawing. Man, maybe I should have just let my opponent tap. I was trying to prevent what's his name from coming down, a Murktide, but looks like they just got everything. They just got everything together just the same. Fury. Yeah, that's messed up. At least we get a token for our troubles. Heat my Fiend Artisan. That's a lot. That's definitely a lot. That is a lot. They're drawing a card, which they know what it is because they kept it on top. They know what I draw. Giver. Well, I'm just gonna try to do this again. But if they have another, expressive iteration, then I'm probably gonna be promptly dead. I feel like that first hand, if we had that first hand with a white source instead of the basic swamp, we could have been in good shape. And by the way, that's probably something that I was actually considering, is the fact that probably it would be correct to just not play the basic swamp. So here they can just bolt the Endurance. There's like a million ways that this goes poorly for me, right? So we can draw what? Another Murktide. We can draw another Endurance. It's not it. So I guess we have to draw Serra Paragon or something like that. Because if we draw Serra Paragon and we have access to Giver, we may be okay. Oh, they're just trading? Why? Are they just trying to fill their graveyard for Murktide? What? Oh, sure. Yep, so Serra Paragon. That's the only card here. I guess it's not even, because this is now a 4/6, so never mind. Grist doesn't do it either. Yeah, we're just dead. Okay, this list did not turn out too well. I have a lot of thoughts, though. Alright, Red Faced Menace, let's see what we're gonna unpack here. Things that I did like. This right here. Grist, Voice, Fiend Artisan seemed pretty good. 24 lands was also very nice. This deck is extremely mana hungry, so having access to more lands, it's more good. You could even say. I do like the way, as I said in the beginning, I do like the way that this deck is built in terms of it's green-white straight up with Grist. And that's it. Like, that's the only black card in the entire deck. So I do like that approach. I did not like, considering that approach, I did not like the fact that you have this basic swamp here. Like, this basic swamp is just really bad. So you should have maybe another thicket. You could have maybe, probably not another fetch land, but this is just such a bad land, right? Like, it just doesn't cast any of your spells, and you have a bunch of colored spells that you want to be casting. So the only thing that it casts is Fiend Artisan, basically. So it's not great. I think you want to, like, you just don't need it, right? Like, what are you playing this swamp for? It's because you want to, like, have access to Grist after you've resolved the Magus. Like, if you resolve the Magus in a matchup where you brought in Magus, you're probably winning anyway, right? So, like, you just don't need this in your deck. So you can just play another land that actually taps for the colors that you care about. So I don't like that part. I do like everything else, though. Everything else in the mana base seems fine. As far as the creature, Esper Sentinel was terrible. Esper Sentinel was so bad the entire league. I don't think that this is what you want to be doing. The main deck Hayremite is okay. I mean, there's value with it, but like, as I said earlier, I think that you're just better off playing Knight of Autumn. It allows you to gain even more life than just the 2 versus matchups where that's what you want. And it also gives you access to a body after you have gotten the effect, which means you can sack to Fiend Artisan. Also, Eldritch Evolution is just bad. I don't think that this is what you want to be doing. I do think, and let me rephrase that. I don't think that this deck, this is what you want to be doing, or you can also build the deck around Eldritch Evolution. So what would that mean? That would mean you're playing stuff like Young Wolf. You're playing stuff like Geist or whatever. You are not particularly good at assembling this combo. And honestly, this combo is not that good in Modern, right? We assembled it a couple of times today, and neither of my opponents conceded to it. But the problem is, like, both of these cards are just really, really bad. Like, these cards are like straight up blanks by themselves. So you're in a spot where you are trying to play a value game, but you have dead draws. And you actually have plenty of them between Hayward Might, like Esper Sentinel. Like, all of these cards are just dead draws. So I think you'd be much better off having more copies of Giver instead of the Sentinels. And you'd just be much better off doing something like Collected Company or what am I talking about here? What's the name of the card that I played the other day? Oh, Ranger Captain. Ranger Captain was actually very, very good in the deck. Even Renegade Rider, even extra copies of Renegade Rider would be great. If you want to be building around Eldritch Evolution, you can, and having access to Gracer that you can sack is nice, but I just don't think it's good. I do like the idea you can go turn 1 Gracer into turn 2 Evolution for Gris. Like, that seems actually good for me. But you can do the same thing with like a Bird, right? And it's not like, in that scenario, it's not like the Gracer is really ramping you, because you need to have the land in hand for that to work, which means that you're going to have 3 mana on the following turn regardless, right? So, unless you have a 4 land, so it's awkward, right? So, those are my thoughts about the main deck. The sideboard that as I said, Burnt Forge Tender is great. And I think it's just better than Sanctifier. It's definitely better than the second copy of Sanctifier. Being able to deal with Grist, like with Fury. Like, Fury is like a massive beating for this deck, and Sanctifier does nothing against Fury, while Burnt Forstener can blank it. So I think that by itself means that Force Tender is just better than Sanctifier overall. But if you want to play a split, you can, because I do believe that it's possible that Sanctifier is actually better versus specifically the Scout deck. But everywhere else, like, Sanctifier was just super medium. Even against Murktide, it was just medium. So 3 forces seems like one too many. I don't think you want that many. The rest of the sideboard, like, I just think these cards are unplayable. I understand what you're trying to do with these two. They're just never gonna work out. It's just, that's not how matches of Magic play out. So I don't think you should have these 2 cards. If they had been literally anything else, we would have many other tools in other matchups. Also, you are very unprepared for Rhinos. Like, you just roll over and die versus Rhinos. Like, they just answer your Darnith Massive Threat very easily, and you can't really protect it well because you only have 2 givers. So they just answer your Magistrate and you just lose. So that felt pretty bad. But yeah, so you have certain ideas here that I like. But the overall execution feels like it's a little bit lost. So I think that you nailed some things, but then your deck building is a little bit, there's like a little bit of a dichotomy going on. So I think you have to choose what you want to do. Do you want to go more towards Heliod, where you can basically grab the shell that we had before for Heliod and play like maybe like 4 Spike Feeder, 3 Heliod or something like that, so you're really focusing on assembling the combo, and then you have like Fiend Artisan going on. So you can try something like that, or you can just have some other stuff, because like Evolution was really bad. Multiple times we just did not want to sack any of the creatures that we had in play, right? We don't have that many cards. That Voice is the only thing in your deck that sacrifices for value. Like, everything else is a real card that you don't necessarily want to sacrifice. So that is really awkward for Eldritch Evolution. I think I would play Chord before I play Eldritch Evolution in this deck. Look, that's how bad I think this card is here. I think Chord would be a better card in the deck than Eldritch Evolution. Even though, sure, you're sacking to Fiend Artisan, yes, but this is a recurrent thing, while Evolution is not. Those are my thoughts on this list. It was interesting, but I think this is not where I would take it, at least. This is not where I would take it. I think that you are trying to do too many things, and you are just jack of all trades, master of none, as opposed to just focusing on one of the things and trying to make sure that you do that thing very well. And again, some of your card choices I just don't agree with. Particularly, you know, this kind of stuff. Like Esper Sentinel was just so bad. But yeah, Gracer was better than I expected, but it was still pretty bad. So, all right, that's it for me. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button on the way out. And I'll see you in the next video, folks. Take care. Bye bye. And once again, thank you, Red Faced Menace. Go check out his channel if you want to see more Amulet content, and even like some right now some Fiend Artisan content as well. See you in the next video, folks. Take care. Bye bye.